Say it ain't so, Canelo. Say it ain't so.
You want it to be one way.
What?
You want it to be one way.
Man, I
You
don't
want
know
it
what
to
you...
be one
Man,
way.
stop! Stop saying that.
But it's the other way.
Wait, so Canelo Alvarez just popped out on the PED test. That's crazy. That is crazy. What's crazy is that it was actually swept under the rug, so to speak. It really wasn't made to be as big of a deal as the John Bones Jones positive test. And the reason why I'd say it's on the level of John Bones Jones is because this is one of your stars. This is one of boxing stars that has just popped hot. This isn't Alexis Arguello or other old names. This is a current name, current young superstar. This is freaking Canelo Alvarez, and it was just gonna fall by the wayside. But Triple G was like, "Nah, bruh, we need to have a discussion about this. I really need to know what's going on. I can't take your word for it that the meat was contaminated. If the meat was contaminated and this fight meant that much to you, leave Mexico to train. He could have trained in Big Bear, California, which he couldn't have trained in Big Bear, California, because I think Triple G trains in Big Bear, California. So here I go, speaking out of turn, even though I'm speaking on behalf of myself on the podcast. My bad, I got a little carried away there myself. But Canelo has been temporarily, I should say, suspended by the Nevada Boxing Commission. I don't see this standing. I do believe that the fight will go on as planned. The only person that really gets hurt from this fight is Canelo. He knocks Triple G out. We'll talk about how there's a possibility that he's a dirty fighter. If he gets knocked out by Triple G, we'll talk about how he may be regular now, how he hasn't been allowed to cheat, and therefore we don't know who he is as a fighter. We get to see him without his superpowers, and we all know how that works with people like Batman, or not Batman, but Superman. Once you put that kryptonite out there, you can get in that ass. But I digress. It's gonna be really interesting when Cinco de Mayo rolls around to see whether this fight happens or not. As a matter of fact, between the weight classes of 147 and 160, more easy wins at all. And Canelo has been a part of the 147 class, the 154 class, and now the 160 class. And look, you got to come with it. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And if you're not trying, then what is the point of your life when you are in a combat sport? People are trying to hit you in the face. Protect yourself at all times, but especially when it comes to fighters and PEDs, make sure you get the word out, man, because it's really not fair. It's really not cool. But all's well that ends well. We'll see how this turns out. Hopefully, it turns out well for both fighters. Now, this past weekend, Dillian White of the UK got in the ring against Lucas Brown of Australia. Lucas Brown was this undefeated fighter. It looked like he had fought a lot of tomato cans. Dillian White, a fighter out of the UK, came up around the same time as Anthony Joshua, and actually fought Anthony Joshua and was knocked out by Anthony Joshua around the seventh, eighth round, something like that. He's the only person besides Klitschko to actually get in there and hurt Anthony Joshua in the ring. So that rematch is pretty anticipated. But, Dillian White has been calling out Deontay Wilder, while Deontay Wilder has been calling out Anthony Joshua. The reason why Dillian White wants that fight is so he can make some more money. And the reason why Deontay Wilder is ignoring or would be ignoring a fight with Dillian White is so he can go straight to the cash cow. Like, why would you have to do all these things on these smaller levels when you can get to the boss immediately? Now, after this knockout and brilliant performance against Lucas Brown, Dillian White called out once again Deontay Wilder. And I hope now that the fight is actually going to get made. I would love nothing more than to see Dillian White and Deontay Wilder White in the UK or the United States. It doesn't matter. I would like to see that fight only because I didn't know I wanted it. But when you are a boxer, when you are a mixed martial artist, sometimes you can get into the octagon or the ring just by talking. You have to perform behind that talking, but that talking is what gets you in the door. Kevin Ferguson of the UFC, or was it Tony Ferguson? It's Kevin. Wow, what's his name? The black guy just recently lost to Tony Ferguson. Got into that ring, got into that octagon by talking. Conor McGregor got to where he was by talking. Floyd got to where he was by talking. Dillian White is talking to get this match for a shot at the WBC title, but really a shot at that check that they're going to be passing out along with that WBC title. Now, do I believe that Dillian White has a chance in hell to fight? To beat Deontay Wilder? Absolutely. Everyone has a shot once you get in that ring. The shots is all yours. You know what I'm saying? You take your shots where you can, man. Everybody shoot your shot at all costs. But do I believe he actually will win? Absolutely not. I don't believe that. Even in the smallest margins. I do believe that Deontay Wilder is a very, very special talent. I believe he is underappreciated because he didn't have the kind of formal training that a lot of other people have. The difference between a lot of other boxers and Deontay Wilder is that these other guys may be classically trained dancers or classically trained chefs, classically claim anything, and Deontay Wilder is just as good, and he had no formal training. And that's one reason, anyway, I should say that I appreciate him as a fighter. Now, there's a lot of fights coming up. I think the end of March, Anthony Joshua defends his belt against Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is a belt holder from New Zealand, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that turns out well. But man, like Triple G said, man, boxing is a serious business. It's a big drama show, and that's what we're getting right now. Big drama shows. In the ring, out of the ring. The Charlos are still talking. Adrian Broner is still part of the equation. We still have to figure out what we're going to do with Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford. We still have to figure out what we're going to do with Danny Jacobs and Billy Joe Saunders and these guys. We still have to figure out what we're going to do with a lot of these fighters, and it is only March. The boxing gods have smiled on us. Peace.